So we just have run up, so we'll...
Yeah, one thing we could do, we could pick up our weather before we start taxiing out. So,
is that right here?
Yeah, 12827, and we can just flip our COM 2 down.
Clear below 12,000, temperature 16 Celsius. Dew point 10, altimeter 3023. Manio, Dare County Airport. Automated weather observation 1319er. Zulu weather wind 020 at 11 gust 15 visibility 10 clear below 12,000 temperature 16 Celsius. Dew point 10 altimeter 3023.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, 020, and the runway's here.
So we've got 5 and 2335 and 17. We'll probably use 05.
05?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so actually, I probably still have a... So all the avionics are on.
Yep.
Everything, we're just going to do the run-up.
Delta, Dare County.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Everything else in this is pretty basic. Make sure we're set. We're about 13 feet of elevation. Looks pretty close to me. But within 75. Directional gyro we can set. That one will spin up a little bit as we get faster.
Okay.
For whatever reason, first thing in the morning, it doesn't like to do its thing.
Man, it's been I forgot about setting the directional gyro. I got the G5s.
Oh yeah,
you know?
That's a nice setup.
Let's see, east. Out right there.
Perfect.
Dare County traffic, Mountain 8477,
Okay.
10 to the north inbound for runway 5.
All right.
I'm ready to taxi out when you are.
Wait. Where we are? No.
DTAC. Thought it looked familiar.
What's your
KMQI.
MQI? All right, so where are we?
Yes, we're right on the ramp. We'll basically
Right
just taxi Alpha to runway 5. This little area right down here, a little darker. We can do our run up over there. That way
Okay.
we're not in the way of anyone.
And no tower here.
Not for the time being, no.
Okay. So via Alpha,
You betcha.
Dare County Airport. Where's Dare County Airport, Skyhawk 9er392 Hotel is taxiing to runway 05 via Alpha.
Perfect.
Okay, let's check steering and brakes as we do it. This way?
Yeah, we can go off to the right side if you'd like. Make sure we don't hit the TBM. Awesome.
You just do it?
Yeah, we can go off to the right on that dark surface out there.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest thing to remember in these is that your toes have to be right at the bottom or else they're pressing on the brakes the whole time.
Your hills?
Yeah, so like right on the bottom,
yeah.
once we turn around I'll show you, but if you got a taxi anywhere over 1,000 RPM, it means you're probably stepping on the brakes. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know if this checklist is going to work here or not.
Fuel selector both trim,
Doors,
mixture rich.
windows.
Yeah, should be pretty close.
Flight controls. Right. Up. Okay. Fuel selectors on both. Trim. Control. Mixture rich. Throttle 1700 RPM. Let's see right here.
Dare County traffic, Mountain 8477 is turning left base for runway 5, Dare County.
The twist doesn't seem to work
No,
very
this
well.
one doesn't have a twist.
Out right there. Magnetos. Yeah, that didn't go down too much, like 50 maybe.
Perfect.
About the same.
Dare County, Mountain 8477
RP.
turning final, runway 5, Dare County.
Works. Engine gauges and altimeter. All set. Where's your engine gauges?
Basically, we've got oil pressure and oil temp. Also got our ammeter.
Okay. Let's see. Do you check your ammeters by turning off one of these?
No, just basically make sure it's just a little bit above positive.
Okay. And throttle idle. Oh, bounce. Okay. Idle fine. Throttle friction feels fine.
Yeah, basically just that one.
It is a little loose, so I'll just a little bit. Alright, fuel quantity we already checked. And they show
Dare County,
full.
Mountain 8477 is clear of 5.
Flaps. Just no flaps on takeoff?
Yeah, 0 flaps. We've also got our indicator here that'll tell us too.
Okay. Alright, emergency briefing. So, in this, if we're below 1,000 feet, we don't turn around, and then if we're above, we try to turn around, come back to the airport. If we take off and we're below, is there anywhere out there to land?
Basically off the end of this runway, we've got a big, like sandy island. That one would be one that we could make. After that, once we're a little further, basically looking for a spot as close to shore as possible. If we do have to ditch it at some point, there's usually people on the beach, so the water's our best option. So just so you know,
Okay.
right, how to get out of the airplane. Got our door latches right here. So if we are going to crash in the water, make sure that we pull our latches up beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Around here, the only options we really have are water, so there's nothing really big to hit, which is nice.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay. Alright, transponder,
1200.
and it's already on alt. Fuel heat we don't need. Landing light. So,
Landing lights one up top. Yeah.
clear, all room lead.
strobe light, we probably should have turned that on before. Flight plan we don't need. Cameras are on. And that's for when we take off.
Perfect.
So,
Want some V speeds? Is that?
yeah, remind me, it's 55 for rotate.
55 to 60. Yep. We'll climb out at 80. 80 is our best rate.
Oh, and this is miles per hour, so 60 and 80?
It's knots on the outside.
Oh, it's knots?
Yep.
Okay, so 60 and 80
You betcha.
climb?
65 as VX.
Okay.
Our best glide is also 65. Once we clear the tree line, we can probably climb out about 90 to 100. You'll be surprised at the performance around here. As we go to first flight, know that we have runways 21 and runway 3. So 21 is rate traffic. We'll probably be using 3 today as well. Just a heads up that first flight, as we come over top of the trees, can be kind of bumpy. It does weird things down there. The windsock is like a little bit up top of the hill, so
Okay.
it shows something completely different from what's on the ground. Yeah, the traffic pattern out there is 800 feet. just so that we're both aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much the gist of it.
Okay. So we'll be using runway 3, and it's non-towered also.
You betcha. I'll pull up here our.
Okay,
I think it's 1117
right on
flight. 118075. I'll just push that in here. What am I using? Oh. That way we can pick up our little bit of weather before.
And then 1129 is the frequency over there.
Yeah, so anything this side of the ocean is 122.8. Anything each side is 122.9. Once we get halfway over the sound or so, we'll switch over.
Okay. So how do you switch?
This one, you basically press the white button that doesn't have anything on it.
That switches those?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay. All right. Else we need?
No, I think that's it. Like I was talking about on the pedals, these ones are pretty touchy on the bottom, so just make sure your toes are kind of at the bottom, kind of like mine.
Oh,
so you will accidentally push the brakes. You know, your feet are bigger than mine, so.
County traffic, Fairlane 419, departing runway 5, departing to the north.
Perfect.
County.
All right. Do we back taxi when we go over there?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
This is runway 05.
You betcha.
Dare County Airport, Skyhawk 903, 902 hotels holding short, runway 05.
All right. Take a look down final and look on our base as well. Make sure there's no one coming.
I don't see anybody.
Okay, sounds good.
Dare County Airport, Skyhawk 903, 902 hotel is taking off on runway 05.
All right. Yeah, so like I said, just a heads up, right now you can feel you're on the brakes as well. If you got a taxi over 1,000, that means we're pushing them.
Okay.
So just especially on takeoff and landing.
All right, toes down at the bottom.
Sounds good. Well, I'm ready when you are. A little bit left into the wind. Go.
Pier County, Skyline 3 at Romeo, crossing both runways at Delta
Oh.
County.
I forget where the trim is on these.
Yeah. Well, perfect. Once we clear the tree line here, we can pull the power back to about 2,500. It'll be perfect.
Okay. When you say the tree line, you mean the edge of the water?
Yeah, right. Pretty much right. 500-600 feet will be perfect.
All right. And I forgot to text my wife.
Gotcha.
That's okay. She said if I get busy and I forget, that's fine. And I keep going down there for the trim.
Old habits die hard. That's for sure.
I learned on an Archer, and so that's a really early habit too.
Pier County, Skyline 3 at Romeo, clear both runways, taxiing terminal via Alpha, Pier County.
Yeah, so way out in the distance there, you can see a little open grass section.
Yeah.
That's towards first flight.
Okay.
As we come across the sound here, we can switch over to 122.9. Press the white button. Yep. So it's up to you if you want. We can get used to the airplane a little bit before we come into land. Or else we
Yeah,
can go.
let's do that. It's been a little while since I flew one of these, so.
Sounds good. I'll just make a call. What I'm going to tell them is we'll overfly. We'll enter right traffic for 2-1. We'll head up northbound up the beach line. We can stay at, as we go up the beach line, we can stay at 1,000, give yourself a good view. Probably about 1,200 to 1,500. Crossing over first flight's a good spot.
Okay.
That way no other traffic is in the way of us. First flight traffic, Cessna 92 Hotel is 3 miles to the southwest. Be entering right traffic for 2-1, heading northbound up the beach line at 1,000. First flight. Awesome. I'm just going to enrich in this mixture just a little bit here.
Sounds good. You know the plane better than I do, so I'll bring this back down to 25. There I go again, trying to trim it down here.
Don't worry, I'm not going to judge you. Oh, you picked a gorgeous morning for this.
Yeah, it worked out. Wow. It always looks better from up high.
No kidding.
Doing it again. So habit. Such a habit.
Yeah, so out there, you get to see the first, the Wright Brothers Memorial, a big stone obelisk in the center.
Yeah.
Basically, they've only got the runway to back taxi on. Only land 3, there's a little circle up the top you can turn around on to come back. They've got their little pilot's lounge. You can get a stamp in your logbook or whatever you'd like. Pretty cool spot. Walk up, I can take a picture of you at the...
I brought my logbook just in case they had something like that, so.
Yeah, pretty cool spot. So up top where the big stone is, that's where the first flight started. Made its way up north up that little walking path. It's marked out with stones at the end. There's 2 little gray buildings right next to the stones. That's the hangar and the home that they stayed at between 1901 and 1903.
Okay.
They've also got a big brass replica of their first glider on the south side, that little sandy section out there.
Nice.
I'm going to pull this back just a little bit to about 25.
Oh, yep.
So like that.
Okay.
That's a pretty cool spot, really. And, yeah, so the windsock is pretty much right off to the right underneath us. Might be hard for you to see. Kind of on this little hillside. Looks like it's showing pretty well straight down the runway.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
But it does
Okay.
wacky things coming into first flight, so.
All right.
Yeah, so as we come north, you can see up the coastline here. Pretty much where it curves is up towards Kerala.
Okay.
Pretty cool spot if you want to take your wife somewhere to go look at wild horses. First flight traffic, 92 Hotels on a right downwind for 2-1, heading northbound up the beach line at 1500. Beach traffic.
Are we going to turn that way?
It's up to you. We can head north. We can go south.
Yeah, let's do the landing and then head south. Or that's north, right?
That way's north, yep.
Okay, so we can go up here and then do the landing after too.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, these things fly a little different than an Archer, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you know, I actually like how docile they are compared to the Archer. The Archer and the Arrow that I own they're a little bit, you have to stay on top of it all the time. You can't, I mean, you can let it go and trim it.
Right.
But those low wings don't fly like these.
Right.
You know, these kind of just float.
These things are pretty nice, especially when it's smooth out. You can pretty much steer them with the rudder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biggest thing out here that we get is the wind. Like today it's a pretty calm wind day and it was, what, 11 gusting 15. Yeah, so once it gets over 25 it gets a little bumpier the first flight.
So we're staying in a place right over here.
Okay.
So we're probably flying over this little section here with all the beach houses. It's in there somewhere. It's on Wilson Street.
Gotcha.
If you know where that is.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, so pretty much this whole area, once we get past the tip of this island, we come up toward, this is Kitty Hawk. South of us towards first flight is Kill Devil Hills. Pretty much this bridge will take you over towards Virginia. They call them the Twin Bridges. You guys flying to Norfolk or
We're
Raleigh?
flying out of Norfolk, yeah.
Okay.
We flew into Raleigh, but we drove over here and we're going to fly out of there.
Right. Yeah, so this is the way you'll pretty much go on your way up.
Yeah, just straight up this way. Or do you go over there and then...
You take the bridge across and then it'll go up.
Okay.
There's a toll road on the way up as well. It's always fun.
We've been telling the GPS to avoid tolls, but is there no way to avoid it that way?
It's pretty tough too. I think it's like $3 or something on the way up.
Can you actually pay, like, stop and pay, or do you have to have one of the little things in your window?
You can stop and pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was new to me too. Toll roads instead of a toll bridge. Pretty much this whole way. Another cool spot if you guys are ready up here. This whole town underneath the water tower is called Duck. Duck Donuts was invented here. It's a pretty good spot to go visit.
Nice.
They've got a boardwalk on the sound side. This pier that sticks out, the big long one, is the Duck Research Pier. Usually they'll have something tied onto it on the ocean side, measuring the wave strength.
Nice. So this is not man-made, right, to keep the sound? This is just how it was?
You bet.
Oh.
Yeah, so these are all Big Barrier Island. They're all natural. But erosion's a pretty big thing around here. So the shoreline, I think we're moving back at a rate of about 6 inches per year. The shoreline's getting pushed back.
Oh, wow.
Further south, you can kind of see how some of the houses are close to the water's edge. They'll get swept away fairly soon. Yeah, pretty cool spot. Back when it was originally settled, there used to be an inlet that was pretty much right in this general vicinity.
That's cool.
It's being swept away now. Now we pretty much have Oregon Inlet, a pretty interesting spot for the boats to make their way through. But definitely a place steeped with history. First English settlers were over here on Roanoke Island where we took off from. And then the first radio transmission was out here as well.
The first radio transmission, huh?
Yep. Down south from Cape Hatteras out to Roanoke Island. I think it was just about 50 nautical miles.
It was interesting. I read the book on the Wright Brothers. It was interesting how many inventors and people came from the Dayton, Ohio areas where they came from, you know?
Right.
It was crazy.
That's a little bit of a trek out here, especially
Yeah.
before the big interstate systems.
Yeah, we were thinking that when we were driving here, like, wow, they had to do this without the paved roads.
Yeah. A pretty cool spot. Yeah, it's totally cool as far north as you would like to go. Totally up to you where you want to fly today, so.
Where's the wild horses?
Yeah, so as we come further north, you can see this big city up here.
Yeah.
That's getting up towards the Currituck Beach Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the second oldest lighthouse in the U.S. But as you make your way north, get up to a little beach access. That'll take you up towards Corolla. So they've got four-wheel drive tours. You can go see horses. Sometimes you get lucky; they're on the beach. A lot of the times they'll end up in the tree lines. They're a little hard to spot on those tours.
I mean, it's not that big a deal. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. They're the little Spanish horses, so they're kind of short and squat.
Is that an airport right there?
It is. So that one's Pine Island. It's just a little private spot. I think it's on your sectional too.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, in an emergency, that would be one that you could go to, but it's definitely kind of hard to see sometimes.
Let's just go around it and then turn and go do our landing.
Sounds good. Beach traffic, Cessna 92 Hotel is 3 miles south of Pine Island. The Circle heading southbound towards first flight. Beach traffic.
So when we land, we want to go in, like stop the plane and go in, and you said there's a stamp for the logbook?
Yeah, I can show you where that is.
Cool.
Because Virginia kind of has the passport program like some of the West Coast, Washington, and them do. I think it's kind of cool if it's the first flight, get it in your logbook, but...
Yeah, our state has the passport thing too.
Pretty cool idea.
I keep forgetting to do it though.
Right. Makes you go into some places you probably wouldn't have normally.
Yeah.
So do you guys use your Aero mostly for cross-country stuff?
Well, yeah, so mainly I bought into it because I wanted to do trips, but then COVID hit. I bought in March of 2020.
Oh, nice. Right as it all happened.
So when we flew to California, Sacramento a few weeks ago, that was really my first trip. I mean, my wife and I flew to St. George, which is down south in Utah.
Yeah.
That's like just under a 2-hour trip. You know, and that was the furthest I'd gone.
Yeah, St. George is a really pretty spot too.
Yeah, it's a nice place to go. It gets pretty hot in the summer though.
Yeah. I spent last summer down in the Phoenix area, so.
Oh yeah, that's hot too.
Yeah.
So it would be nice. I am planning a trip to fly over to Tennessee with my wife. She wants to go to the Smoky Mountain National Park. She loves outdoors, and I like flying, so
yeah, that works out.
Figure we'll start going and visiting parks, you know.
Sure. Yeah, the Smoky Mountains are definitely cool. Not quite as big as the mountains you're used to, but
yeah,
very, very pretty. Yeah, during the probably towards the fall as the leaves start changing color, it just gets gorgeous out there.
Yeah, planning that trip, it's kind of interesting. I'm so used to flying in the mountains,
yeah,
and up high, and the first leg to fly over to Denver, you know, we have to get up to like 15,000 feet if we do IFR, and then the rest of it is really low. You know, like the minimum IFRs are like 3,000 and 4,000, sometimes 2. You know, it's like, wow, there's
nothing to hit out here. Like other than some of the towers, there's really nothing in the way. That was the biggest change for me too, that there's no mountains to hit.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. I watch a lot of YouTubers, you know, do those kind of trips, like the Aviation 101 guy, Josh.
Right.
And it kind of inspires me to think, oh yeah, I just want to go do a trip like that. I think it would be cool to fly my plane all the way out here and do a first flight, you know, landing.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
You're really not too far from the Smoky Mountains in an Aero.
Yeah, when we flew from Salt Lake to Sacramento, it was 4 hours there and 3.5 back.
Wow, that's not bad.
And we were cruising at about 150, 160 knots ground speed.
Right.
And we had a little bit of turbulence on the way back. It was coming into Battle Mountain, Nevada.
Okay.
So it was kind of wicked, but
yeah, for whatever reason, Nevada tends to be bumpy.
Lots of mountains over there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the heat as well through there.
Yeah.
It's kind of that.
Yeah,
nice
you get a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. High density altitude and mountain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter how high you are over some of those mountains in these planes, you still get the updraft. And
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, most of my flying before coming out here was in the backcountry in Idaho. So like all the famous backcountry strips you kind of hear about, like Soldier Bar and all that stuff. And it's a bit of a change coming out here and you're flying tour passengers. You know, you've got 4 people in an airplane and like 15 gallons a side in a Cessna. You're like, man, there's no way. This shouldn't be able to fly, you know?
Yeah, I always think that when Josh on Aviation 101, he has like 4 people in his plane and
Yeah.
his little Cessna 172, and it's not even, I don't even know if it's a 180 horsepower. It might be a 160 or something, but he,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
in Texas takes off. And
No, it's crazy the difference though. Like climb performance in this thing today was so much better than it ever would be in Utah.
yeah. In the winter, it's not bad, but
Right.
then you got icing problems because you're too high.
Yeah. The catch-22.
Yep. Yeah, there's no flying through clouds during instrument training either.
No.
If you don't have de-icing equipment,
Right.
you just don't get it.
Yeah, it was the same thing for me. We just did. It was. I mean, if you did it in the summertime, you'd be all right. But
Yeah. I got my first hour of actual IMC on the way to California
nice.
just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm an instrument instructor as well. I don't have a whole lot of actual time. Just because most of the time, if it's kind of crappy around here, it seems to be super low, or elsewhere, it's just not really a great training environment.
Yeah. There was one time in my training where my instructor, I was under the hood.
Charlie 5 south past Whitfield, 2,000 feet south of North Creek.
We were doing practice approaches in Provo. I
Okay.
was under the hood, and he said, "You can probably take the hood off. We're in the clouds."
Right.
You know, and we weren't even on an IFR flight plan. He could still see the ground.
Right.
And I was like, really? That was the closest we ever got during our training, you know. And
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, unless you get into something bigger, flying through the clouds is not really an option unless it's summertime, you know.
yeah.
If you had to, I suppose, but
This reminds me of when we flew in Hawaii. We rented a 172 on the Big Island and flew out of Kona. Went up and down on the east coast of
Nice.
the Big Island. Kind of fun. They had mountains though on.
Right. Well, as we come in, we got 11807 dialed in for our weather.
Let's see. So I can see it's a open field there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we come
Is
down,
that the island we took off from? Or over
just
across?
past, yeah.
Okay.
2,
we'll have to bring it down to 800 feet as well.
Okay.
Kill Devil Hills, First Flight Airport, Wright Brothers National Memorial. Automated weather observation. 135 Zulu. Weather. Wind 020 at 5. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 15 Celsius. Dew point 11. Altimeter 3022.
All right.
Perfect.
So 020, still going to use runway 3.
Sounds good.
And do we do right traffic?
So we'll use left traffic
Left
for
traffic.
3.
Okay.
We can pretty much fly out towards Collington and enter. We'll have to end up slowing ourselves down right about 85 for the traffic pattern. Should be perfect. First flight traffic, 90 hotels, 4 miles to the north. Be entering left traffic for runway 3. First flight.
Let's see. So I see the monument, and it's this way of it, right?
Yeah, it's
You
kind
can't
of
really see the runway,
Charlie,
right?
clear the pattern to the
Right
north.
now?
That's all, please.
Yeah, so pretty much as we keep flying towards it, we're pretty well pointing at the monument. Just that little skinny section, you can't kind of see where there's a shadow in the trees.
Yeah.
That's where the runway is.
Okay.
So yeah, most of the time it is a little bit bumpy as we come over top of the trees into first flight. It gets kind of turbulent on the ground. So crosswind correction will be a definite thing.
Okay.
As we come in, make sure your toes are on the bottom again. I know I'm preaching it a couple times, but
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good with that because it's been a little while, and it's a different airplane, so.
yeah. So now you can see where it cuts out in the trees. That's the runway.
Yep. Do you want me to do the radio calls as we're in the pattern, or you?
I can do it. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's fine. Then I can concentrate on it.
Sounds good. First flight traffic, 92 hotels entering left downwind for runway 3. First flight.
First flight traffic, Skyline 38 Romeo departing Dare County. We're going to be coming around for a lap around the monument. First flight traffic.
Morning, Kate.
Hey, Reese.
Awesome.
Now, I'm used to how close I fly the Arrow because it's a heavy plane.
Right.
Is this far enough out for downwind?
Yeah, that's probably
For this?
perfect.
Okay. When I got checked out in the Arrow, I was very surprised at how close I have to fly because of
Yeah,
once the engine quits, it just drops.
no kidding.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah. So as we come beam our touchdown point, we'll just pull a carb heat as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, so we'll pull our carb heat, get ourselves slowed down below 80, then we can add in some flaps.
Airfield, level 2, Navy T-34 will be making the southbound transition, 1,000 feet over the river.
Awesome. First flight traffic, 92 hotels, turn in left base, runway 3 for first flight.
Yeah, I remember the Cessna High Wing blocks your view of the airport.
No kidding. As we come onto our base, we can probably add 20. We'll start slowing ourselves down to right at 70. First flight traffic, 92 hotels, turn in final, runway 3, first flight. Alright, we'll have to pull a little bit of power out here, get ourselves down. Still pretty high. This thing doesn't quite sync the same, so go at least 1500 or a little more.
Yes, so different, huh?
Yep, make sure we don't overspeed our flaps here either. If we have to go around, we can always give it another shot.
First flight traffic, Skyline 38 Romeo is right downwind for 2-1. Just going to be passing by the monument. First flight.
A little bit more flap there.
Perfect. Have to slow ourselves down just a little bit.
Check traffic.
Just a little bit of right rudder here for you.
About 4 miles.
Hold it off. Nice and gentle.
After landing, runway 5.
Nice.
Thank you for the help.
I didn't really do a whole lot of.
Then we back taxi because there's no.
There's a turnaround at the end that we can go
Okay.
out on.
Okay. Turn around and then you taxi on the runway, huh?
You betcha.
Yeah, we have a lot of airports like that at Utah.
Yeah.
Out in the boondocks. But no, none of them with a nice turnaround like this.
No. Utah's such a cool state to fly around, though.
It is. It's pretty. Fly over to Moab, you know, and
Yeah. As we come to a stop, we can get rid of some of those flaps and the carpet and everything before we taxi. I know it was topped off this morning, so I'm sure the fuel smell is a little bit of dripping from the overflow.
Traffic, Skyline 38 Romeo, beam the Wright Brothers monument headed south along the beach at 1,000 feet towards Jockey's Ridge. Beach traffic.
First flight traffic, 92 hotels, back taxiing runway 3. First flight.
This pretty small little runway.
Yeah, I think it's 60 feet wide.
How long is it?
Surgeon traffic is 125, about 3 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Downwind 45, 25.
I want to say 3,100, but that's a pretty cool little spot. Get to watch people come in here and get beat the heck out of by the wind sometimes, though.
Yeah, those trees make the wind change, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, as we come past the windsock a little further up, you'll get to see where the ASOS is, and it's 100 feet higher than where it is here. It does totally opposite things of what it does on the ground. You'll have like left aileron coming in, and all of a sudden the wind flips a 180 as you come underneath the trees. Makes my life interesting flying with different people.
You ever watch Angle of Attack?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, Josh from Aviation 101 went up there and did a series of videos with him.
Yeah, the Alaska series that they did.
Yeah, you seen that?
Yeah.
How they take off and they just stay in ground effect and then they go over the trees.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's good stuff to learn though.
Well, rather clear them by 10 feet than 100 feet. Got airspeed to work with at the end.
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty much any of these parking spots, we can just flip it around and point into the wind. Just pull the parking brake after that. But that building up there is the pilot lounge. So we can walk you in there, get a passport stamp.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. So I don't have to let it cool off because it's not turbo like mine.
Right.
So we can just pull it.
Pretty much just push the radio off, be the first thing. They have to pull it out.
This one here?
Yep. Perfect. Check, check, check.
Yep, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Perfect.
Alright, so this is still the weather here.
Yep.
And what's going to be the weather when we get
12827.
12827? Okay.
Do you want me to switch it over? Because we'll probably...
Yeah, let's get the weather real quick.
Observation 1417 Zulu. Weather. Wind 020 at 4. Visibility 10. Clear below 12,000. Temperature 16 Celsius. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3022.
Still the same. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, go ahead and switch it.
Okay.
And we set the altimeter, heading indicator, flight instruments, still spinning up. Transponder still on alt, we didn't really change it. Okay. We'll check the taxi or the brakes and steering on the way out.
Perfect.
And where do we go do the run up? Just over here?
Yeah. Basically, there's a little turnaround point there. We can flip into the turnaround point more or less into the wind. Basically right before the runway.
The turnaround point.
Yeah, so pretty much up here, well, I don't want to buzz cars either. We can pretty much go onto the taxiway here too and flip around.
That sounds like a good idea.
I don't feel like dusting people's cars if I don't need to unnecessarily.
Alright. Okay, parking brake. Doors, windows, light controls. Right. Left. You can see that much easier than my arrow.
No kidding.
Fuel selectors on both. Trim. Neutral. You're rich. Throttle 1700. Carb heat. Works. That takes a while, doesn't it?
It does weird things sometimes, so.
Vacuum gauge. Where's the vacuum air?
On the left there.
Oh, okay. Throttle idle. Oh, wait, we didn't do the mixture. Where's the mixture? Oh, yeah, I skipped that. I went right to the magnetos. All right there.
Perfect.
Okay, fuel's good. Flaps are up. So as far as emergency, if we have a problem taking off,
Yep.
where do we go?
Pretty much here, we've got a bunch of power lines in front of us. We're aiming for the water's edge, pretty much. There's no really other options out here.
Okay. Under pitot heat landing light is on. Strobe lights are on. Cameras, I started. All right.
Perfect.
it's First Flight Airport.
You betcha.
First Flight Airport, Skyhawk 9er3, 9er2 hotels holding short runway 3. I'm not seeing any coming in. Hard to tell, or do they show up above the tree line?
Most of the time, but depends how far out the pattern is.
Okay. First Flight Airport, Skyhawk 9er3, 9er2 hotels taking off runway 03.
Go, make sure we got full power in here.
It's a little squirrely there.
Yeah. This is a pretty calm day out here. It's pretty well straight down the runway, which is nice.
Beach traffic, double two, Navy T-34, we are Pine Island, Oceanside, southbound, 1,000 feet, beach traffic.
First Flight Airport, Skyhawk 9er3, 9er2 hotels turning left crosswind 03. Yeah, maybe the vacuum's just going out or something, huh?
I don't know.
There I go, trying to...
We can pretty much stay at 1,000 feet across the sound too.
Okay.
That way your descent planning doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I don't know what's with that vacuum gauge, because most of the time it works really well. Sometimes it just does weird things.
First Flight Airport, Skyhawk 9er3, 9er2 hotel is in left downwind, heading back to Roanoke Island. Yeah, it was trimmed for takeoff there.
Old habits die hard, right?
Yeah.
Arrow, trim wheel.
Arrow. You know, when I first switched planes, I kept saying Archer, because that's what I learned in, you know?
Oh yeah.
Archer 8750 Echo.
Yeah.
You know, the truth is, too, this is a bad thing. Is that the airport, the big open?
You betcha.
Okay.
Pretty much make left traffic for 5. Pretty much point right at the
tip there.
more or less.
I have a bad habit of, I have ADS-B in and out in the plane, and I always look here to see where the airplanes are, and I still look, but sometimes I depend too much on that, right?
Right. Alright, well, I'll switch this over here. Pier County.
I'll let you make radio calls for me on the way in.
Sure.
I'm not stuck on that.
No worries. Dare County traffic, 92 hotels, 4 miles to the east, being bound making left traffic, runway 5, Dare County.
Niner, altimeter 3024.
What's the altitude for
Manio, Dare County Airport.
1,000
Automated
feet is
weather
the
observation.
pattern? Yep.
1423. Zulu, weather, wind 020 at 11, visibility 10, clear below 12,000, temperature 17 Celsius. Dew point Niner, altimeter 3024.
So is this runway going this way, the one we want?
So this is 35. We'll use 05. Have just
And
both.
that goes this way?
This is the one that comes this way. So pretty much right here, we're set up to enter the downwind make our little right turn onto it once we get a little closer.
Okay.
We'll have to start slowing ourselves down just a little bit, but otherwise, looking good.
I see.
Check any traffic, 85 Golf, cross both runways.
Dare County traffic, 92 hotels, turning left downwind for 5, Dare County.
Tri-County traffic, Cessna 3 Bravo Lima is 6 miles to the west, inbound runway 1 for the downwind runway 1.
Alright, perfect. Well, as we come abeam, we'll end up pulling our carpet again. Make sure our toes are on the bottom of the pedals again.
I always pull my toes up and do my hills.
Okay,
I think it's a little easier for me.
Still south of the terminal.
Yeah, let's make sure you slide them down to the bottom so we don't hit the brakes accidentally.
Left base final for runway 02, number 2 behind us, 73. You guys up?
Alright. The carpet pulled, full power to about 15. Start slowing ourselves down. Dare County traffic, 92 hotels, turning left base, runway 5, Dare County.
Pitt Greenville traffic, Swift flight 670 and Boeing 737, approaching 5 miles straight and final runway 2.
All right, Pitt Greenville traffic, citation 413, Golf, will be number 2 behind you, and wait for you guys to get it clear.
Yeah, we'll get off as quick as we can.
No worries.
Dare County traffic, 92 hotels, on final, runway 5, Dare County.
At least you guys have more personality than the last lady from center.
Alright, nice, looking good. Alright. A little bit further right, keep holding ourselves off. Really nice.
Well, thanks to your help.
We'll keep that left aileron into the wind here for me as well, help keep you straight.
It feels so much lighter with the controls than my Aero.
Oh yeah?
You move it and it just feels lighter, you know?
Right. I suppose it is a much lighter airplane too.
Yeah.
Dare County traffic, 92 Hotel is clear of runway 5, taxiing Alpha to the ramp, Dare County.
Dare County traffic, Harbor 81 Victor's crossing both runways from southeast hangars, Dare County.
Let's throw these flaps up here for you.
Okay.
Get rid of that carpet as well.
The things you forget when you don't have them.
You're right.
It's been so long since I've done carb heat.
Yeah. Yeah, quite my commercial and my CFI stuff was pretty much all in stuff with glass and like a fuel injected 172 or something else fuel injected. So it was definitely a change coming back to beam gauges and...
3175 uniform to the plane taxi, and are you going to come up all the way to the end of Delta?
Nah, I'm just going to 5. I'm going to turn left here in a second.
All right. Dare County, 3175 uniform.
These lines are gone.
Yeah.
To the south hangars via Delta. 3175
Park
uniform.
right by
Deer
that
County.
other plane.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll just swing ourselves around into the wind that way. Nothing gets blown away. There's just a big bump right here, so make sure if we go over top of it, I'm just going to hold this back. Perfect.
All right. Remind me, we got these up. What do we need to do before we pull the throttle?
Pull the mixture, you mean?
Yeah.
Just have to turn the radio off pretty well.
Radio.